I pretended to be deaf for 3 years just to understand what people really thought about me. In the end, it completely destroyed my family. It all started during my senior year of high school. Because of a severe ear infection, I actually lost my hearing for several weeks. The doctor said it was temporary. While I couldn't hear anything, I had to learn how to read lips. And that's when I realized one terrifying truth. People allow themselves to be cruel when they're sure you can't hear them. When my hearing came back, I decided not to tell anyone. The first disappointment was my best friend Mike. We were sitting next to each other in the school cafeteria, and he casually complained to another guy about how exhausting it was to deal with me. "He's pathetic," I read on his lips, keeping my eyes down. My parents were even worse. At dinner, my mom would silently mouth to my dad that I was falling behind in everything, and he would respond that nothing serious would ever come of me. They talked about me as if I didn't even exist. But the most painful blow came from my older brother, Daniel. Daniel was the perfect son. Top grades, athletic awards, early acceptance to a prestigious university. The family was proud of him, and I was always placed next to him for comparison. I thought there was at least some kind of bond between us. I was wrong. One evening, Daniel brought his girlfriend over, supposedly to study. I was sitting in the living room pretending to do homework. They sat at the kitchen table, and I could see them perfectly. "Is he always this useless?" she asked, nodding toward me. Daniel smirked. "Pretty much. Our parents baby him because he's their disappointment. They've already accepted that he'll never be successful like me. Doesn't that bother you?" "Not at all. They expect nothing from him and everything from me. It actually makes life easier." I kept my face neutral, but inside I had already made my decision. For the next 3 years, I stayed silent and recorded everything. My parents argued with relatives about whether I would even graduate high school. The school counselor referred to me as a lost cause. Even my grandmother once told my mom she was embarrassed to introduce me to her friends. The breaking point came at Daniel's graduation party. The entire family gathered to celebrate his acceptance into medical school. I sat in the corner, playing the role of the problem son. That's when I read my parents' conversation with my uncle. "Honestly, we're lucky," my dad said. "At least one of our kids turned out normal. Now we can put all our money into Daniel," my mom added. "The younger one isn't going anywhere anyway. He'll probably end up on benefits." At that moment, I stood up, walked to the center of the room, and clapped my hands loudly. "Did everyone hear that?" I asked clearly. The room froze. Daniel's face turned pale. "Because I hear everything," I continued. "Every whisper, every insult, every conversation behind my back for the past 3 years." My mom whispered in shock. "What do you mean?" "I've been able to hear just fine since senior year. I only wanted to see what kind of people you were when you thought I couldn't hear you." I played a recording on my phone. My father's voice discussed how much money they'd save by not spending it on their failed son. Daniel tried to say something, but I cut him off. "No, that's exactly what you meant." I picked up my graduation gift, a cheap watch they'd clearly bought in a rush, and placed it on the table. "Keep it. You'll need to save money now that you only have one son." I walked out and never went back. 5 years have passed. I'm now finishing my master's degree in psychology. Daniel dropped out of medical school in his second year. It turns out he couldn't handle pressure without our parents doing everything for him. Sometimes they try to reach out, claiming I misunderstood what I heard. But I have 3 years of recordings that say otherwise. Do I regret the deception? No. I only regret that the truth had to come out this way. But I learned the most important lesson of my life. When people show you who they really are, believe them, even when they think you can't hear them.